So, I got robbed. Yep. After over 5 years of traveling and over 50 countries that I've visited around the world, this is the last place in the world I would have expected to be making a video like this. And call me naive, call me whatever you want, but I traveled the Philippines for over 5 months 2 years ago. I stayed at various amounts of accommodations. I visited diverse arrays of different cities across the country, including the one where this happened. I engaged in all kinds of events across the country, and I have not once ever been stolen from or harassed or treated in any sort of way in that capacity before in this country. To go even further than that, I've been blessed around the world in the 50 countries that I've been to in the last 5 years to have never ever been stolen from, ever. If you guys watched my video yesterday from Sinulog 2020, my first experience doing a Sinulog, one of the big festivals that happens here in the Philippines annually, you would have seen that towards the end of the video it takes a different turn from being happy, where I end up getting robbed and somebody steals my wallet, robbing me of all my money and making me cancel all my credit cards, pretty much stranding me here in the Philippines with no money and without any access to be able to pull money out of my bank accounts. Today I'm going to be telling you guys the story of how this happened, why exactly it happened, but there's a few things that I want to clear up before we get into the video itself. This in no way, shape, or form is a sympathy video. I'm not looking for you guys to feel bad for me. I don't need you guys to feel sorrow for me. Even though it is an unfortunate situation, that's not the reason I'm making the video. I hope that I can continue to be the YouTuber and always strive to be the YouTuber who is going to be completely honest with you guys about my intentions when I make videos, whether that's coming back to the Philippines and making videos capitalizing on the holidays like this or on Christmas or New Year's. I always try to be honest with you guys. So, I'll be honest with you guys. The main reason I'm making this video is because I know it'll get views and I want to try to make the money back that I lost losing my wallet. So if you guys don't mind, and if you want to support the channel and of course the situation that's going on, if you want to watch the ads that I stick in this video all the way through, it will help me maybe make back a little bit of the money that I lost last night, because it sucks. It really burns. It burns a lot. Also want to let you guys know that I appreciate so much the sympathetic comments and the nice comments that I've been getting over the last few days. Just like, you guys have been so amazing and so receptive and so kind, and I appreciate that. Especially when this is something that's pretty much my fault for happening in the first place. That being said, I want to mention that I understand 100% that this is all my fault and my responsibility. Not absolving the thieves and the robbers for doing what they do, for robbing me. I'm not saying that what they did is okay in any way, but I 100% understand this is my responsibility. I shouldn't have been walking around. This is easily avoidable, and it's not something that I ever do, to be honest. Yesterday was my first slip up in 5 years pretty much, and I paid the price of that. But a lot of you guys have been leaving those comments and suggestions of how I should have locked up my wallet. I know, guys. I do know. And I appreciate the concern, and I appreciate the advice that you guys are giving me for the next time. But I've done lots of festivals like this, including ones in the Philippines before, and New Year's and Christmas, and I've been in the slums, and I've been in the rougher areas around the world, and I am usually really responsible. I usually go to the extent of hiding my money around in different parts of my bag, so you can't ever really steal from me. I'm not an easy person to steal from. But to be honest, after weeks and weeks of traveling like a madman in this country and just being absolutely exhausted, yesterday the alcohol and the drinking started flowing a little bit earlier. Things just caught up to me, and it just happened to be a mistake. It was just an accident that I ended up leaving with all of my stuff in my wallet. It's not usually anything I ever do. As well as I'm always filming, which luckily for me, these robbers were dumb enough to steal from me while on camera. So we can show you guys all that fun stuff as well. So anyways, with all that jibber jabber out of the way, just wanted to clarify. Watch the ads if you want. It'll help me out a lot. I appreciate it. So let's explain what happened. Okay, let's begin recapping the night. Anyways, after a full day, pretty much from 9 a.m. waking up in the morning, probably even earlier than that, and heading out to festivities of Sinulog around the city of Cebu here, we were fairly exhausted by the time nighttime came around, and yes, to be completely honest, we were fairly intoxicated as well. There was alcohol moving through our systems, as you do in Sinulog. Drinking is a very, very big part of it, so we were drinking, not heavily, but we were drinking throughout the night. And there was a certain point in time where we were walking through a big crowd of people. Now, a few things to note about Sinulog. People, and what I've been mentioned to a few times already, Cebuanos, the people of Cebu, are not the people that would do something like this. I don't have the validity. I'm not Filipino. I can't sit here and tell you guys who did what. I don't know. But I've been reassured by the police and from a few citizens now and a few people in the comments that this is not something Cebuanos would do. They're very proud of the city, very proud of Sinulog, and they wouldn't want to do this to a foreigner. So, I mean, to give that what it's worth, I'll respect it, and I'll go along and say that I think the people who perpetrated this were probably not from here. There's probably a good chance that they don't actually live in Cebu, and they weren't really a part of the festival. Because, as you'll see in the video, which I'll show you in a little bit, the people that did this to me were not there to celebrate Sinulog. This wasn't a accidental thing that they just happened to see a tourist and wanted to rob them. This was actually fairly calculated, and if you see in the video, it's actually kind of impressive how they pull it off. People who are there for Sinulog are dressed up. They are either wearing the feathers, they got colors on them. They're not just walking around wearing whatever. They are there to celebrate, and you see that in the big crowds that we spent in earlier in the day when we got stuck on sort of Ramos Street on the way to the area that I'm currently in. You know, you get trapped with a bunch of young people, they're all tossing stuff. I granted also had my wallet in my pocket then and my phone in my pocket, but I was always touching, I was always making sure. I felt more secure with my wallet in my pocket instead of my bag, which in retrospect is probably a bad idea, but I just liked being able to touch it, and in case I needed to pay for something quickly, I liked having the access. I was using one of those roll-up bags, the water bags, so it's kind of annoying to roll them up in and out every single time you want to get something out of your pocket, so I'd rather have it in my pocket and just be able to touch and feel and make sure that it's there all the time. Also, to be 100% fair, I've never been pickpocketed before, I've never been robbed from, so I have nothing and no speed to sort of relate this to. I didn't know how fast something like this happens, so it is pretty impressive when you watch the video how quickly this was pulled off. We were walking around on the street, I think it was on Mango Avenue, and the crowd kept on getting heavier and heavier and heavier. We were walking past a bunch of street parties, and eventually we just made it into this massive sort of sardine-lined, you know, line of people. And I had my phone that I was filming the video on in one hand. That's the one that you've seen all the footage from yesterday. I had my other phone in my pocket, zipped up all the way, and I was constantly touching that. And then I had this wallet in my other pocket, zipped up all the way. And I continuously, almost every 20 seconds, would go in and touch to make sure that the wallet and the phone were still there. Especially when the wave of people in the line got thicker and thicker and we got less space to move, I was continuously touching. Somewhere in the middle, we got in so close and we were just kind of standing, lined up with people. I had my camera held up, and eventually somebody came from behind me and pushed. Now, the first push, I don't know if it was perpetrated by the people who intentionally did it, because there were people pushing. But the pushes weren't so aggressive. It was just more people trying to get in the way, and we were tripping over people. Everybody was kind of tightly packed in. But then eventually another push came. Now, I obviously don't remember everything. Once again, I was a little bit intoxicated, so I don't remember exactly how this happened. But I do remember feeling a push and then getting launched into the crowd a little more, tripping over my friend Brandon, and maybe even pushing a few more people, and then hearing a bunch of people go, oh. And then, after that, maybe 30 seconds forward, we got distracted by a group of kids, which I don't know who they were involved with. I don't think they were involved with this at all, but I don't know. They just sort of huddled us and saying Sinulog, Sinulog, whatever, and they were just saying Pete Senor, which is a saying during Sinulog over and over again. And eventually, right after that point, we decided to stand right in front of a store, and we were all kind of checking our things and realized, I don't have my wallet. And as well, another girl that was with us, one of my friends, Christine's friends, Mari, she had her phone stolen. And once she had her phone stolen, she like, oh my god, my phone was stolen, my phone's not here anymore. That's when I checked my pocket and realized that my wallet wasn't there, and the pocket of my pants was flipped outside and the zipper was down. So I knew that somebody had reached in there and grabbed it. I knew that there was no way that it just fell out because I kept on touching it, but I guess after that push happened, I just was so distracted with getting pushed around that I didn't bother to look for it immediately after, and it just happened so fast that I couldn't catch it. I'm a human. I don't know. I couldn't catch it. I apologize. And the contents of the wallet were about 10,000 pesos, so around $200. I don't remember the exact amount. Every single one of my credit cards, including my business credit cards, my personal credit cards, and a few other credit cards that I have in there. There were pictures of my grandpa that are really important to me, and there were coins from ancient Israel that I carry around with me, and a few prayers, and my driving license from the US, and my tuk-tuk license. Right after this happened, I freaked out immediately, called my mom and dad, made sure that they have access to my cards back home in the United States, and told them to cancel everything immediately, because that's always first priority. I did go through my brain to think maybe it'll turn up, maybe it was lost. I actually did turn around again, ended up walking right back through that crowd. It was nowhere to be found, and I knew that I was probably just kidding myself if I thought I was going to find it. I I just sort of accepted it after a while, and then told my parents to cancel all the cards, and my mom and dad slowly started canceling cards one by one. About an hour later, we were sitting down at some bar. I was very, very sad at this point, just sort of ruined my night, didn't know if I could pick up hopes, and I was sitting with my friend Eric at a table, and all of a sudden we see my phone ring with a Philippines number, and I remember Eric distinctly looking at me and saying, "No way." And I had a feeling, but I don't get calls on my Filipino cell phone number because I don't really give out the number to anybody because I don't have minutes. I just have the SIM card for data. And I knew, I had a feeling that it was either going to be the person who stole my wallet that called me or a police officer who had found the wallet. And lo and behold, the first thing when I pick up the phone, they say, "Are you Mr. Tall? Yes, you have my wallet?" And they say, "Yes, we have your wallet. Come here right now. Come get your wallet." So I gave the phone to Christine. She can obviously speak to them in Bisaya and get the details figured out. But we knew where to go. We hopped on a habal-habal, rode all the way out to where they were, pretty close to where the wallet was lost in the first place. And they told us that somebody brought the wallet to them because they found the wallet laying on the ground somewhere, I think outside of a Burger King. But the wallet didn't have any money in it. All the cards, all the licenses, my grandpa's pictures, everything was still intact. Every single thing was still intact in here. So that's beautiful. I was able to salvage all that stuff. Unfortunately for me, in my rush to cancel all my cards, every single one of my cards was canceled besides one. And this one is a personal credit card that I can't really write off business expenses on, which is unfortunate for me. That also gives me a credit limit of how much money I can pull out a month, which is a very small amount of money. So it just sucks overall because I'm basically now trapped in the Philippines with no cash and no availability to really pull out cash. And it was one of those things where I had to accept in the moment that that was my wrongdoing, but I just tried to do what I thought was best by canceling all the cards. But also, I totally screwed myself over by canceling all of my cards. So, in that moment in time, I think the police officers, we got the wallet back and walked back to the bar that we were sitting down earlier. At this point, my emotions were so all over the place. This night had gone so crazy for me that I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. And around 12 or 1, we called it a night. We said we were going to go back, wanted to edit the Sinulog video and have it ready for you guys today in the morning. And that's exactly what we did. And as I was importing the new footage, I was looking over the footage and found the scene where we were getting crowded. And lo and behold, I found the clip of me getting robbed. I was seeing what happened and I was seeing how it was played out, and I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe I actually caught the people who stole my wallet. I can't believe they were dumb enough to actually steal my wallet on camera. So I quickly texted the police officer who called me earlier and let him know that I have video evidence, and he told me to rendezvous with the cops in the morning at a police station here in Cebu, which is what I did today. I filed a police report. All that's in the works right now. I was told by the police the odds of actually finding them is slim to none. I mean, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. But there is a proposition in this video, so please keep watching if you're interested to see where this is going. I'm going to review the footage with you guys right now to show you guys exactly what happened. And I have to make a clarification right now. I don't think I can say 1000% sure that these are the people who stole my wallet. But when I show you guys this clip and I show you guys what happened here, it's very damning. And there's a very slim possibility, I think, that these people, if they didn't steal my wallet, didn't have something to do with it or weren't involved in some sort of capacity. And at the very least, they're just horrible people for pushing people in the middle of crowds and sort of trying to cause a stampede. But I believe wholeheartedly that these are the people, and multiple people that I've showed this video clip, including the police officer, think this is pretty damning evidence that these are the people who stole my wallet. So we'll review the footage. We sort of begin here. We're all crowded. If you notice the guy over here with the black shirt, he's standing right in front of the guy with the white shirt, who they kind of look a little bit similar, and it looks like they're communicating a little bit. Don't know if they're working together in this situation. You can see my friends Eric and Allison there in the background. The guy with the black shirt is sort of eyeing me a little bit, and it looks like he's getting really close. He is currently on the side of where my wallet is, so it kind of looks like, to me, like he's looking down towards my wallet, but there's obviously no way to tell for sure. And as you can see there, quickly he takes a quick glance up at my camera, sees the flash, and sort of looks down immediately. But what happens here next is really interesting. He looks down and then immediately looks to what would be his right, I believe, and past this van where we were getting crowded. He sort of, it looks like he looks over at somebody and says something. His mouth moves ever so slightly. He says some sort of word. I don't know what he says, but you can see his lips sort of move as he looks to the right. And then quickly after that, some guy pops up right behind him, a chubbier looking fellow. And I'm gonna call this guy a pineapple sucker, because I really don't like this guy. This is the guy that I believe stole my wallet. I'm gonna give him a nickname. This is gonna be Pineapple Sucker, and if you want to replace that S for an F, that can work too. So you can see him kind of come up behind me. They're definitely talking at this point. It looks like he's communicated with him. He hasn't noticed that I've been filming. I'm smiling. I'm giddy. I'm naive. I have no idea what's going on. And he comes up behind me. You can see as I pause right here again, he's definitely eyeing me. And then that's when the push happens. You can see me and Brandon get pushed onto each other. We get pushed. A whole row of people sort of get pushed in front of us. And he is now on me. And he's spending way too much time on my backside. And you can see how quickly it happens. But at that point in time, I believe he stole my wallet. You can see he pushes me once again. He spends a lot of time back there. It looks like he's finagling with something. And then you can see his face there at the end looking right at me. Like he is one of the only people in that crowd looking directly at me, like sort of like, oh shoot, did you see what I just did to you? I don't know. This is a really good look at Pineapple Sucker. I really hate this guy. I don't know. He could be totally innocent. I don't think that's the case. I think his New York State shirt is stupid, and I also think the smile on his face is stupid, and I think the look on his face is stupid, and I don't like him for pushing me, because he pushed me in the first place. Whether he stole my wallet or not, I don't like this guy because he pushed me. But besides the fact, you can see very clearly that he pushed me and spent a lot of time on my backside after communicating with his buddy over there. So it looks like a well-executed plan. Just to reiterate the plan one more time, just so you guys know, it's me standing forward, my friend Brandon in front of me, and then one other guy to the back of me. One of the guy in the back of me communicates with a guy on the right of me. Guy on the right swoops in, pushes me forward, spends some time behind me, pulls the wallet out, walks to the side, and escapes the scene like nothing happened. That's Pineapple Sucker for you guys. That is the person that I'm out here looking for. I filed a police report against him. Now here's the deal. I can't tell you guys to chase this guy down. I can't tell you guys to identify this guy. I'm not going to get involved in that sort of situation. If you guys know him, you know his whereabouts, if he's an innocent guy, please let me know. If you guys are friends with this guy and know him, please let me know, because I could be accusing the wrong person here. The evidence to me seems damning. You guys make up your own decision on that aspect. But there is something that I want to say. When we were sort of in an intoxicated mess, and I was sort of sulking over the fact that I had lost my wallet and what I was going to do, and I was really sad about the fact that I now have to deal with trying to get credit cards sent over to the Philippines, especially when I travel and move a new place almost every day. Trying to get cards sent from the United States of America to the Philippines so I can rendezvous with them is going to be the most stressful thing in the world. And without those cards, I basically can't exist because I can't have money. I was chatting with my friend, and we were just talking about how many bad things I want to do to this guy, and he was trying to relax me. And being completely candid here, the sort of concept that I came up with that I think is fair as retribution to this guy, and this is only if this guy is a true man enough to own up to this mistake, to the fact that he did it. But I'm willing to offer this. Okay, this is my proposition to this man. If you're somehow watching this, you Pineapple Sucker, you son of a I gotta beep that out. You piece of I hate you so much. If you're watching this video and you're a real man, if you're man enough to confront me about this, to own up to it, please, I will absolve you of all the wrongdoings, of all the shame. I will personally accept the fact I'd be willing to pay you money to let me beat you with a pineapple. I think the only retribution fair enough, the only embarrassment fair enough to what you did to me on this night is to let me beat you with a pineapple. I want to take a pineapple and I want to hit you with it. That's my proposition. I know it's a little weird. I know that it would be really embarrassing for you, and it's not something, considering what you and your friend over here do, robbing innocent people of their money, especially when you don't know who they are. I think the only thing fair enough is to let me beat you with a pineapple. If you let me do that, and this is no joke, I'm being 100% serious, you gotta let me film it on camera, upload it on YouTube, and make sure that the internet sees you for who you are, a person that is deserving of being beat with a pineapple. I think that's the only fair thing here. I pretty much don't want the money back at this point. You can keep the money, you can really suck on it. I hope that money treats you horribly. I hope you don't get a single piece of enjoyment from that money. Can you tell that I'm angry? But I really hope that you own up to this and you contact me in any sort of capacity. If you guys know him somehow, if somebody identifies him, if you want to put it up on the internet, don't go on a witch hunt against him, because we still don't know if it's him 100%. But if you know the guy, you confront him. If you can own up to the fact that he stole my wallet, I'd like to beat you with a pineapple. I think that's fair, and I think that's the only thing that would justify the situation in any sort of capacity. So that's my offer to you, Pineapple Sucker. You suck. You're a really horrible person, and I hate you. But I won't hate you if you let me beat you with a pineapple. I will 100% think that this is okay, and I'm willing to offer you money. That's my proposition. That's the video, guys. I want to end off on one point. There's a lot of you guys that seem a little bit scared and traumatized from the fact that I went through this for me, and I appreciate that so much. I appreciate your guys' fear about this, but there's a lot of you guys that are thinking that I'm going to hate the Philippines now, and I'm not going to want to travel back here, or that this whole experience makes me not want to be in the Philippines anymore. That's not the case. If you guys have been watching my videos for any sort of capacity of time, you know that that's not how I am. This is not representative of the Philippines. This is not representative of Cebu. It's not representative of Cebuanos and Cebuanas, and it's not representative of Sinulog. I have experienced a lot in this country, and I can tell you, I've experienced a lot in the world. This is the first time anything like this has happened to me. This just happens to be a random group of stupid, really, really crappy people, and it's not representative of this country or the culture as a whole at all. It happens all over the world in tons of places, and I am not scared of the Philippines, and it doesn't make me want to leave, and I still love this country so much. This video is long enough. I hope you guys sat through it. I hope that you got hit with multiple ads in the video, and I truly hope to God that YouTube didn't demonetize this video, and we can at least make some revenue back from this video. Please, guys, share the video around. Let's get this pineapple sucker to let me beat him with a pineapple. Let's make it happen. It'll be ridiculous, but I don't see a more fitting way to repay me for all the money that I lost in this situation, and for the headache that's going to ensue over the next few months of getting my freaking cards back to myself. It's gonna suck so bad. That's all I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of this video. I apologize if it's a little weird or different, but we gotta try to make some money back on this video because we lost a lot last night. I love you guys a long time, and I appreciate the support. And I once again apologize if this video comes off as passive-aggressive or a little angry. I am a bit pissed and stressed because of the situation, but I'm dealing with it, and it'll be alright. Alright, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I love you long time, class. Goodbye.